Hi, my name is Amanda Salmoiraghi, and I'm a second-year master's student at the Virginia Institute of Marine Science. I'm co-advised by Drs. Jan McDowell and Robert Latour. The lesson plan that I made is called We're All Connected. This lesson highlights the interactions and influence of human activity on ecosystems, specifically on tidal creeks. Students will learn concepts related to habitat fragmentation, food chains, food webs, trophic level pyramids, species richness and abundance, and for higher level students, calculating Simpson's diversity index. These sites are based off of a group project that I did for a class at the Virginia Institute of Marine Science. We wanted to understand the impact of human activity on species richness and diversity. So, the data that the students will be collecting is modeled after our real data from this project. These were actual species that we caught while using seine nets for sampling. For the main activity, students will be conducting a mock sampling exercise where they will be, quote, fishing in 3 different tidal creek sites. They will be randomly sampling at high, medium, and low human impact tidal creek sites. Each box represents a site with varying levels of natural and/or man-made barriers present. This is done to represent habitat fragmentation and how it could lead to less diversity and abundance overall. To construct the sites, teachers should gather 3 small to medium-sized cardboard boxes or bins. This can be 3 bins for the whole class to be split into 3 smaller groups for rotation, or this can be 3 bins per small group. If there are 3 bins per group, please keep in mind that the materials needed will increase. When constructing the sites, make sure that the site labeled high human impact receives the greatest number of barriers present. Barriers are anything that could potentially create habitat fragmentation. They can be made of anything lying around that makes it difficult for students to grab certain beads or move their hands around in the bin. Paper towel rolls, rulers, cut paper plates, construction paper, etc. can all be used to create these barriers. Once the sites are finished, cover with a towel, pillowcase, sheet, etc. so that the students cannot see into the sampling site. Different colored beads will be used to represent different species. Students are expected to keep a record-keeping sheet of all the colors of the beads pulled out and the species. For students, they will be casting a hook by placing their hand into the bin without removing the cover. So one student will go in, they will grab only 1 bead and pull it out. They'll make sure not to put it back into the bin just yet, and they're going to keep any beads that were pulled out off to the side. Then, the next student would be allowed to cast their hook, and they're going to repeat step 1. This is done until all students have pulled out 1 bead. At the end of the replicate, so when all students have pulled one of these beads, they will be recording the bead's colors and identify the species using the key on worksheet number 3, the record-keeping sheet. And then, without looking under the cover, they'll place all the beads back into the bin for that site at random, and then they will be repeating steps 1 through 3 2 more times. So they're doing this 1 time for each replicate and 3 times total. After completion of sampling at all 3 tidal creek sites, students can then use the record-keeping sheet to complete the Simpson's Diversity Index worksheet. Students can also complete a worksheet in which they are building their own food web and trophic level pyramid based on characteristics and descriptions provided for an organism. They will also have the opportunity to complete a critical thinking worksheet. However, I feel like this worksheet would be best used as a tool to facilitate classroom discussion. Thank you so much for listening, and I really hope to see this lesson plan in your classroom.